All right. Do we have anybody here yet? Let's see here. All right. Let me see what we got here. All right. Awesome. So let's give people a few more minutes to join. We've got about 20 people here now, so it's a good turnout. Happy Saturday, folks. If it's Saturday where you live, I know there's a lot of people from all over the world using packages. Yeah, so we will just a bit. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, while we're waiting, let's just make sure you can see my screen. Can you guys see my packages screen on, by the way? I'm trying to see. Or is it the packages logo right now? Hello, Philip. Okay, just the logo right now. All right, so now we need to figure out. Perfect. All right. Cool. Oh, is there a lot of feedback, a lot of echo? It might be the room that I'm in, unfortunately. Am I clear, but it's just a lot of echo, or is it you just can't hear me at all? Let me know. All right, we're gonna get started in a minute here. All clear. Okay, perfect. Okay, so people can hear me. Perfect. All right. One more minute. I think we're good to go now. Okay. All right. So what are we going to do in this live? This is going to be the first live. I'm going to do this weekly to help people sort of wrap their head around packages, learn how to use it, learn what it's good for, what it's not good for. Yeah. So Rick says, can you summarize what packages is in a sentence or two? So packages is literally just browser automation. Okay. That's really what it shines at, is automating what's happening in the browser. Now, it's up to you to decide what you want to do with that browser automation, right? So we have customers that are using browser automation to just send a WhatsApp message or to simulate a user buying something. And the reason why they would do that is because by simulating that user, it triggers all sorts of other automations. There's also the web scraping component, which we're going to look at today, which is, just scraping data from a page and reusing it and repurposing it for something else. So in a nutshell, packages is browser automation. Okay. But what you decide to do with that browser automation is up to you. Okay. So let's get started here. So yeah, like I was saying, this is going to happen weekly, and this is dedicated to today's live is dedicated to scraping Amazon. Okay, so we're just going to scrape Amazon. You're going to see how I build a browser automation using the browser node. I think I'll just focus on that, scraping on an individual product page and then taking data from that product page and using LLMs, so like OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude, to do something with that data that we scraped, okay? And this is a different format. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, stop me. There may be like a 10-second delay. So if you ask a question, it might take a while for me to see it based on the delay, whatever that is, because I think between Facebook and YouTube, there's a different delay. So Philip says, should we watch or do you plan for us to work? I mean, you can do whatever you want. Again, this is an experimental format. I don't intend for everyone to like build the same package at the same time, but you can if you want. That's actually a really good idea. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So I'm going to go to Amazon, okay? And I'm going to look for, is there anybody that is an Amazon affiliate that like does Amazon affiliate stuff? Because that's a lot of people who scrape Amazon do it for affiliate related purposes, but I'll just pick a product. Okay, let's pick this PlayStation 4. Okay. And we got this page. All right. So I've got my product page open here in Amazon, and I want to scrape stuff on this page. Okay. So what do I want to scrape? The title is definitely useful, about me, and then also reviews. Okay. I think those are sort of the three things we're going to focus on this live. And you'll see my thought process behind, selectors, which I think a lot of people struggle with selectors. And then you'll see how I structure the package, okay, to do what we want to do. So we'll just focus on scraping first, okay? So I'm going to open packages and I'm going to create a new package, okay? So let's call this Amazon Product Scraper, okay? This simply scrapes Amazon for a product, okay? Not seeing the screen for Amazon. Is okay. So people are seeing stuff. I don't know why you're not seeing the Amazon screen, but this is going to be recorded. So if you're having any technical difficulties, it'll be available on YouTube afterwards. So anyways, I have my packages screen open. I hope everyone can see this. So what we're going to do first, especially when you're building a package, is you want to think about like, do I want this to be reusable and how will it be reusable? Okay. So for the Amazon product scraper, the reusability will come via the URL. Okay. So we're going to say, I want to reuse this for any kind of product on Amazon, right? So that means we're going to create an input, and that input is going to be the Amazon URL. Okay. So that's the first thing we're going to create is the Amazon URL. And then we're going to create a finish node, which will just house the finished result of whatever we want to scrape. Okay. So I'll just call this all done. And we don't have a template yet, but templates are where the templates represent what you want to output once your package is done. Okay. And that can be anything. And I'll show you that in a minute. But now we're going to create a browser node. Okay. So I'm going to go to add more browser. And this is where a lot of I think a lot of people get stuck is the browser node. Okay. But I'm going to show you, we have some new features that we added, which is the AI instruct, which helps a lot if you don't want to do with selectors. But the trade-off is it takes a while to do the AI work to figure out things. Okay. So we'll call this browser node do the scrape. Okay. So when I'm building a browser automation in packages, the first thing I like to do is just have it go to a URL. Okay. So in this case, our URL is going to be the Amazon product page. So we'll say go to Amazon product page. Okay. Yeah, and Magda has a great definition of what packages is. So enter URL here. Okay. And we're just gonna reference the input that we just created, which is Amazon URL. So we put at Amazon URL. And then this will take us to that Amazon product page. Okay. And then after that, I like to add a wait for like 5 seconds, just to make sure that it's going and doing the things that I want it to do. Okay. Let's put wait for 5 seconds. All right. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to run this package. Okay. And one thing I like to do as well with the browser node is turn live debug mode on. This is going to show us our automation as it happens. Okay. So I'm going to run this package. And I'm going to, let's see, let's just not select any keys right now. And I'm going to input the Amazon URL here. Okay. So I'm going to run that, and let's just make sure that it's going to Amazon. Let's see here. Perfect. So step one of the automation is working. It's going to the product page now on Amazon. Okay. It's going to wait for 5 seconds and it's going to close. Okay. Perfect. So step one of our automation is working. Now you want to ask yourself, okay, so we're on the product page now. What's next, right? What's the next logical thing I want to scrape? Because remember, our goal is we want to scrape the title. We want to get the about me or about this thing. And we're going to look at the reviews. Okay. So to get the title, I'm working on an extension now that gives you the selector. So let's see if this actually works. That doesn't want to work for us right now. But when that extension works, it'll tell us exactly what that selector is. So this selector is for the title is H1, okay, and ID equals title, okay. So we're gonna add a new step, okay, to the automation, and we're gonna put it right between wait 5 seconds and the load the Amazon product page, okay. So this step is gonna be, let's see, extract data. Get the title is going to be the name of this step. And then we're going to call this one. Okay, so we need the selector. So we saw that if we go back to the, I don't even know if did the selector show on the screen? Probably not. Yeah, it didn't show on the screen. All right, sorry that. Okay, so if we right click on the title and inspect it, again, H1 title, ID equals title, okay? The extension will launch soon that will you just highlight this and it'll tell you what the selector is. But let's see, so we have a question. Why did you put that in between and before the wait? So I did that because, so he's asking, why did I put get the title in between the wait and going to that URL? Because I like to keep the wait at the end. Okay, I like to wait 5 seconds just to see what the state of the browser is, or like how the browser looks before it ends. Okay, so I'm actually going to add a wait in between the page loading as well. So let's add another wait here. Okay, and thanks for asking questions. Feel free to ask questions as I'm doing this. So we'll wait 5 seconds. So I want to wait after the page loads, and I also want to wait when the automation ends. Okay, so back to getting the title. So if we go back here, we see that the H1 has an ID of title. Okay, so we can do H1 ID equals title. Okay, as the selector. Okay, and don't be afraid of selectors. Like I said, there'll be an extension soon that makes it really easy. All right, so I'm going to save that. Okay, and I like to save and test every step that I make. Okay. This sort of advice is broad. Like anytime that you're making automation, you want to test every step. You don't want to make the full automation and then get stumped as to why it's not doing what you want to do. So anyways, we added the title. Let's run the package. Okay. And let's see if it gets the title. See if it successfully gets the title. So it's waiting 5 seconds. and it's gonna scrape the title. Then it's gonna wait 5 more seconds. So it didn't fail, so it got the title. That's great. Now, how do we use that title in future steps? Okay, because I want to show you how to take that title and use it in future steps. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do. Okay, so sorry. All right, so so we're stopping to answer some questions. Now, Magnus says, if you click wait for full page load, do you still need to add the wait? Why would you use one over the other? Okay. So waiting for the full page load is useful if you have images on the page, right? So let's say you want to do an automation where the images are crucial, the loading of images are crucial, and maybe you don't know how long those images take, right? So you might add 5 seconds, but loading all the images takes 20, or maybe the proxy is slow, or just something. Maybe there's something that makes it so that you're not entirely sure that all your images are going to load. You would say wait for full page load, and then you can continue the automation. I like to wait for 5 seconds just so I can see what's happening. And if it's really good, and you want it to be faster, you can remove those waits later, those wait 5 seconds later. But when I'm debugging, I usually like to wait 5 seconds. Next question is, since package extension doesn't work now, what extension are you using to see the selectors inspect element? Okay, so this is the Chrome browser, right click, inspect element. And yeah, so this is what I'm using to see the selectors. Okay. And let's see. Love Fighter Writer says, I was trying to scrape Reddit search results, couldn't find the right selector. Okay, yeah. So it looks like selectors are sort of the big issue for automating the browser. And yeah, the extension is going to help a lot with that, because you just hover over it, it'll be like pink, and then it'll tell you exactly what the selector is going to be. All right, so back to the automation. Okay, so we're here, and now we want to take the title, and we want to use it and expose it in the rest of the package. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is use JSON keys. Okay, so we're going to copy this ID, this step ID, okay? And we can just use this button to copy it. And then in the browser node, we're going to select JSON keys, and we're going to paste that, okay? Now, what does this do? I know it seems very complicated, but what does it do? It lets you tag data that you receive from this browser node in future steps, okay? So if we have, let's add a LLM. Let's add OpenAI's GPT-4o mini model, okay? If we wanted to tag the name of this Amazon product, which in this case would be Sony PlayStation 4 500 gigabyte console, we can tag it in a prompt, okay, easily. And the way that we do that is we use that JSON key that we added, which represents the Amazon title, and we're gonna reference it here, okay? So let's say, who makes this product, okay? And then we can extract data, okay? So what's happening here, okay? We're sending a prompt to ChatGPT, and we're asking this question: who makes this product? Okay, and then this here represents the title. Okay, the title of the Amazon product. Okay, so let's see here. Now, in the template, I want to reference that as well. So title of, let me see, this is marked down. title of Amazon product is going to be at, do the scrape, extract data, and then GPT response is going to be at GPT prompt. Okay. So if our scrape is working, okay, if our scraping of the title is working, this should show the title of the Amazon product, and this should be GPT's response to this question: who makes this product? Okay. So let's see what that does. Okay. So let's let this run. All right. And extracting the title, waiting 5 seconds, and it's going to close, and now it's done. All right. All right, cool. So that worked. Okay. So we got the title of the Amazon product, and it's spit out here. And then GPT is telling us that this product is made by this company. Okay. So let's go back to the questions. Tom asks, can you explain more about what the template is for? Okay, cool. So the template in the finish node basically is the place where you can say, okay, my package is done running. All the nodes have finished their work. Okay. And this is what I want to output to myself or whoever's going to use this package. Okay. You can output HTML. You can output anything. There's no rules as to what you can output, but the template is used to store what the end value or the end result of the package is going to be. Okay. How do you open the debugger on the browser? Okay, I can show that again. Right click the element that you want to get the selector for, and then inspect. That will show you the debugger. Okay, so for the folks that are still following along, what have we done so far? So we're going to the Amazon product page. We're scraping the title. So we scraped the title, and then we connected a GPT node. Okay, so we can do GPT things after we scrape, and then we're using the finish node to show the end result of the things that we scraped. Okay. Now the next step is to scrape the let's scrape this section here. Okay. Okay, I meant the live debugger. Oh, how do you open the live debugger on the browser? Okay. So if you're creating a package and you want the live debugger on the browser node, it's this setting here, live debug mode. Okay, so you have to click on the browser node, and then you hit live debug mode and make sure it's active. So just make sure it's on. Okay, and I may make that on by default because I think a lot of people miss that, and they have no visibility into their browser automation. Okay, so next step is scraping the about me section, or sorry, about this item section. Okay, and this one might be a little bit tricky because I saw Les mention that it's hard to get selectors for some things sometimes. Okay, some selectors aren't as easy. H1s are easy because most pages only have one H1, but this one may be difficult. Okay. So if we right click and inspect, we see that there's an ID here of feature bullets _feature _dev. Okay. And I'm just going to do something real quick. The Chrome extension will do this for you. Okay. So here it is. It's working now. So yeah, that is the selector it came up with, which is interesting given that it's an H1, but okay. But anyways, we want this area right here. Okay. So the package selector extension is telling us div ID feature bullets is the recommended selector. Okay. So I'm going to use that one. So that says for the AI stuff, do we add our own keys and can we select models? So on the LLM node, there are a few models you can select: Claude and GPT-4o. Other people have used OpenRouter. I might make that more prominent. But yeah, there's also Straco. I know a lot of people here are AppSumo customers and have Straco. So you can use, instead of using, our LLM node, you can use other LLMs by creating packages for them or using existing packages. But yeah, you can add your own keys and select whatever model you want if you're using some of those other companies' API, OpenAI connections, whatever you want to call them. All right, so back to the automation. Okay, so here's the selector for the about this item area. It's div, and then it's at hash feature bullets. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that. Okay, so we're gonna say get the feature bullets. Okay, and we're gonna go with extract data again. LLM aggregators. There we go. That's the phrase I was looking for. So we're gonna use the selector that it told us to, which in this case is feature bullets. Okay, so div hashtag feature bullets. Okay. And then if we want to tag the feature bullets in future steps, we have to add another JSON key, which we can copy here. Okay. And then, so the one that ends in DKK, unfortunately, it has to be these weird characters because it's more of a feature so that you don't make mistakes. So for instance, if we just called it get feature bullets and you change it to this, then you'd have to change it to get feature bullets in all the nodes, and we don't want that. So it's better to use this long string than anything else. So I'm just going to copy that again. And then now I can say in any node, I can reference those feature bullets. Okay. It has these features. So we say hold on. So it's this one. And yeah, so I'm going to also tag the features here too, just so we can see them. Okay. So we have at extract that. Okay. Ivy is looking for some help. So if anyone knows how to help her. But we are going to run this again just to see if we can get the features showing. Okay. So let's see if this will actually do what we want it to do. Okay. So let's run this here. Let's see if that is the right selector. Oh, I have to run this again. That's not going to show the overlay. Yeah, so the overlay only shows if you're actively on packages. If you bounce to another page, it's not going to show it. All right, so it's doing the scrape again, getting the title, getting the about this item, feature bullets. All right, let's see if it got it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Cool. So it got it. Perfect. So if we look at this, is this for run? Do people do Amazon affiliates for TikTok? I don't know, but this we're just showing right now. I'm just showing you how to scrape Amazon. Okay. That's the goal here, just scrape Amazon. Whatever you want to do with that scrape, it's up to you, but I'm showing you how to scrape Amazon. Okay, so what happened now? Okay, so we got the about section. This is the about section. Okay, it worked. Our selector worked. We got the title, and that's looking good. Okay, now on to reviews. And if anyone has any questions, let me know. Be happy to answer them. But yeah, so far we scraped the title, about this item, And now we're gonna scrape some reviews, okay? So the reviews are tricky, okay? Reviews are a little tricky, and maybe okay, so Les says, I tend to think of those reusable items as variables. What do you call them? So they are variables. Yeah, it's these are essentially variables. I like to call them tags because that's what they are. You have to press @ like you would on any social media platform to tag them, but they essentially are variables or tags. So let's scrape the top reviews, okay? So is there any kind of console log which we can debug the results in the browse node? Yes, there is a debug, and I'll show you that in a little bit, because we're going to need to write JavaScript. Unfortunately, yes. Sorry, guys. There's a little bit of code involved to get the reviews. Okay, since there's more than one item, we're going to need to use some JavaScript. And on another note too, while we've got a lot of people here, packages is it's building a package can be very technical. Okay, some packages can be very simple, and you can get in there and make some changes and get the end result you want. But some packages are more advanced and require code. But that's not anything to be afraid of. You just request the package you want, and hopefully I'll build it or someone else does. But let's get the reviews here, okay? So this won't be as easy as fighting a selector and getting the reviews. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. So the first way is via code, okay? I do want to actually test this out with the new AI instruct feature, okay? So let's use AI instruct to ask for the reviews, okay? So scrape all the reviews on the page. So we'll make that the instruction as well. And in the instruction type, we'll say extract data, okay? And we'll add a few fields, okay? So the first field in this extraction process will be the name of the reviewer, okay? So let's put reviewer name. And then the next step will be the actual review, okay? So the next field will be the actual review. And then let's add number of stars, okay? I actually haven't tested this on Amazon yet, but let's see how it does, okay? And we'll extract that as an array, okay? An array just means a list. So we just want a list of all the reviews on the page, okay? And let's see what this does, okay? If it doesn't give what we want, that's okay. That means we just have to do it via code. But yeah, I think this is actually a good experiment to see if it does what we want it to do. All right, so let's run this package again. But before I actually run it, I want to turn this into something that we can extract, okay? So we're gonna turn this into a JSON key again so we can tag it throughout the package, okay? So again, we're gonna copy this code. We're gonna go to JSON keys on the browser node. Some RPA-related apps rely upon loop patterns to cycle through child elements. Yeah, so there we have loops built in, but the way to loop in packages is a little bit different than it is in other platforms. And I'll show you in a little bit how that looping works. So yeah, I've added a new JSON key that represents the reviews. Okay, so the reviews are going to live in this one, which is AI instruct. Okay, and then we're going to tag that. I'm only going to tag it in the finish node. Okay, just to make sure we get these reviews. So let's go to reviews. And let's go here. Okay. Okay. AI instruct. All right. So let's run this and let's see what we get back. All right. Now, while this is running, because I think that review step is going to take a while. So yes, where's the JSON key? When it finishes running, I'll tell you where I got it from. It lives in the browser node step overlay, the steps overlay, and it's called the step ID. So we just need to pass that step ID to the JSON keys, and that will allow us to tag it throughout the package. All right, so yeah, I want to see what this does, because there's a lot of different reviews for other products, reviews for the actual product, the general review. So let's see what it does. But anyways, what I was saying was with this package, when it's done, we can do some cool things. Okay, we can see, waiting for 5 seconds. We can feed it a list of Amazon URLs and then create a layout, like a review layout, and then push that to WordPress and do a lot of reviews in one shot. Have you done a video on templates? If not, that'd be helpful. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually do one on templates, but I'll also do a lot of template stuff here. Okay, so this finished. Let's see what it came back with. Okay. So yeah, this is what it gave us. Yeah, this is not what we want. I don't even know where it got that from. Let's see where it got that from. We're gonna have to use code. We're gonna have to use code for this. What the AI instruct gave us back is just not great. It's still in beta, this feature, but I anticipate that as models get better, it'll be really easy to return something like this. The AI instruct feature is really good at like clicking on things or like doing like one-off, like very simple things where you're having a tough time with the selectors. But yeah, this did not get the reviews that we wanted. So unfortunately, yeah, we're gonna have to write code. So back to the questions. Greg says, what software is this? Arrive late to the party. This is packages, okay? It's automation. It's just browser automation. Okay, so Christina says, speaking of JSON keys, I think it would be useful to have a node that allows you to extract JSON keys from a JSON object. Yeah, so you can actually do that now, but you have to manually call out those JSON keys. There's no way as you're building a package for it to know automatically like what those JSON keys are. Now, I mean, if you want, a button that says, okay, go to this URL and like extract all the keys in the response, maybe that's something I can add, but the idea is you tell it what keys you want to expose. Jethro says agreed. Thank you, Jethro. So I have a question. How can we reduce the use of credits by using our keys? Okay, so I'll answer this question and I'll get back to scraping the reviews. So you can use any key for any service that you have in packages, right? The only service that doesn't have keys is the browser node. So there's no key that you can add to there's no key you can add to use the browser node for free. Okay. But let's say you have OpenAI, right? OpenAI, because this uses keys. Sorry, this uses tokens and credits. But if you pass your own OpenAI key, then you can use this node for free. Okay. And the way you do that is via the keys page. You just add a key, choose OpenAI as your service, add that API key. And then when you run your package or any package, you just have to make sure that you select that key. And packages will say, okay, you're passing an OpenAI key. Cool. You can use OpenAI for free. No packages credits will be consumed. and then then you can run your package without worrying about hitting those limits. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Amazon and I'm going to scrape these reviews, these top reviews. Okay. So to do this, I'm going to be looking at the HTML. Okay. And yeah, this is where so Brian says Straco included, so any of the LLMs within Straco would be usable. Yes. You can use Straco with packages, okay? And there's already a Straco package. We can probably swap it out just to show you how cool this is. So, and let me know if this format's working for you, because I know I'm in the middle of things and people are stopping me. I don't know if that's confusing people or if it's hard to follow, but let me know if this works. I think some people are liking it, some people are not, but let me know. But to answer Brian's question, Straco is included. Okay, there's a Straco package here. Okay, the run prompt package. Okay, so we could, in theory, use Straco instead of using GPT directly. We can use Straco instead. All right, and we can just say in our prompt, who makes this product? And then we're going to tag extract data 8U. Who makes this product? Product is that one. All right. So yeah, I don't know if what I'm doing makes sense, but basically I'm just showing you that you can use Straco instead of ChatGPT if you wanted to. Okay, there's actually a package for Straco, but you'd have to find the model. Okay, and I think that okay. So let's go to Straco real quick. Yeah, just to because yeah, I think a lot of people use Straco. So there's actually a few Straco packages that I have here, but I'm going to use the list models one, and let's see if I have my Straco key. I do. So you need to use the Straco key to run the Straco package, but this will give us the list of packages. Sorry, the list of models in Straco. Okay. So I don't know if they've added deep. What is it? The new one, DeepSeek. There's so many new. Yeah, they have DeepSeek here. Okay. So if you wanted to use DeepSeek in this package, you could. So instead of doing this, and I'm not going to erase this, going to go back to this, but yeah, you could use Straco instead of going to OpenAI directly in packages, and that's how it will work. But yeah, we can do that in another video. But yeah, so back to the reviews, okay? So we're gonna kill this one, all right, because that didn't really work for us. But we're gonna have to do this in JavaScript and yeah, scrape reviews using JavaScript. Okay, and I don't expect this to be like a JavaScript tutorial. I think what this will end up being at the end of the day is a package that people just run if they want to scrape an Amazon page, and they get the reviews and that's it. They don't worry about the JavaScript. But for the purposes of this live, I will show you the JavaScript code that I'm going to write to scrape this. Okay, so yeah, like Les was saying, the key to browser automation for any RPA platform, okay, it could be if it's packages, if it's any other competition, you're going to need to get good at selectors. Okay, so with this packages tool, this packages extension that I'm going to launch, it's telling me what the selectors are for this review area. Okay, and you can see as it turns pink, right, that's telling us that area that the selector represents. And I'm just trying to find a selector that encompasses the entire the entire review. So for a review, I'm going to want the number of stars. I'm going to want the name, the person's name, and the actual review. Okay. So if I click that, I get this selector, which is customer review and some weird number. Okay. Oops, that went away. All right. So that's here. That's represented here. Okay. So how do we get all the divs or all the HTML elements that start with customer review and some weird random number? Okay. I think this might help us. Okay. So let's see. And yeah, this is code. Don't be afraid of code. It's not gonna hurt you. This was the ID. All right. So this should give us, okay, so that I'm just testing selectors now. Again, this is really technical. I don't expect anybody to do this, but this is helpful because I need to get the selectors for the reviews. I can scrape all the reviews. Okay. So I think I found a selector that can help us. Yes. Okay. So this is the selector I'm going to use to get all the reviews. Okay. That are on the page right now. So I'm going to write some JavaScript that will get me those reviews that I can use in future steps of the package. Okay. So just like with any other step where I like to just see if the automation is working, like the first step of it is working before I invest fully in it. I just want to make sure that I'm getting back like 8 reviews. So with the selector, I'm getting 8 HTML elements, which represent 8 reviews. So I'm just going to do a test really quickly to see that I'm getting 8 reviews back. Okay. So for the selector in JavaScript, I'm going to say reviews equals array from document query selector all, and that is our selector. All right. So and for any of the technical people here, because I know it seems like there's a few you guys here, this JS functions overlay will show you some packages specific functions that are available as you scrape the page. Okay. And this will run in the context of the browser. So you're actually like basically here. So it's like running commands from here. Okay. But I'm going to use the packages logger to tell me how many reviews it sees in real time. Okay. So we're going to say I see however many reviews length. Okay. Reviews. All right. So this is going to be the first step of our scraping the reviews JavaScript. We want to see if this actually will tell us how many reviews we have. Okay. And I will actually do another thing if I miss that log, which will be to return the number of reviews as well. Reviews length or 0. All right. So if it doesn't find the reviews, it will return 0. Let's actually just say no reviews found. Okay. I'm going to expose this as a JSON key again. And I think someone had a question. Yes, we can make this package clonable for sure. I'm going to copy this. Okay, so this is how we get JSON keys. It's the browser step ID. We're going to copy this. All right. We can just click this to copy it. We're going to go to the browser node. I'm going to add this as a JSON key. Control V, just paste it there. Okay. And now I'm going to say, yeah, let's kill that. say number of reviews, okay? And number of reviews was OHH, okay. So at OHH, all right, that's what it ends with. Okay. Yes, I will share the recorded link after. Okay. So we're gonna run this package again, and hopefully we're gonna get the number of reviews that we're looking for. Okay. So let's run this package and let's see what it does. All right. And I see 8 reviews. Okay, so it found the 8 reviews. Perfect. So if we open this, it should also say 8 here. Okay. So now that we see, so the packages can see the reviews. Great. Okay. Now we're going to actually extract those reviews. Okay. So we need to go back to the Amazon product page. Okay. And in this, within this review HTML element div, we're just going to get the selectors. Okay. So let's see what we can gather here. So H5, let's see this here. H5 looks like that will give us the title of the review. Let me just test it real quick. All right. So if we get this will give us the title of the review. Okay. So yeah, so JSON keys is just a name that I give that functionality. It basically exposes, it exposes values on a node. All right, so a node, for example, the browser node. If we go to the browser node, it has all these JSON keys. These are values that live inside that node. Okay, and we're extracting them so that we can use them throughout the package. Okay, it just makes it's just a different way of accessing values in a node. All right, so back to extracting the reviews, which will be the last step for the Amazon scraping. So yes, we want to get the first step of this scraping the reviews, which is the title and the number of stars. Okay. So I'm going to add a few more variables here. All the reviews. No, let's call this clean reviews. Okay. So clean reviews is going to be an array, which is just a list of reviews. And now we're going to look at every one of these. We're going to look at every one of these elements, and we're going to extract the data we want. Okay. So the first review that we're going to extract, the first part of the review we're going to extract, like I said, is the ratings and the title. Okay. And this is what we're going to do. Reviews push. Stars. Stars and title. Okay. So the widget, the Chrome extension tells us that the title is this selector. Okay. So what can we do to get that here? Okay, so the title would be something like this. Okay, but if we were to put just this, we wouldn't actually get the selector for the actual review that we're on. Okay, and I'm not sure I'm gonna. Is there any? I know there's how many people are like extremely technical here and can write JavaScript. Let me know, because this will dictate if I'm just gonna speed run through this or actually explain what I'm doing. John asked, when will we release the extension? So I hope it'll be released in the next 2 weeks. It's all up to Google. Philip says, I think I got the basic concepts. What would be the business case here? Monetization. Yeah, so, people have a lot of different reasons for scraping Amazon, okay? So I think one, okay, so people can't write JavaScript. Yeah, this is not useful then. So I'm just going to speed run through this. And yeah, it'll spit out the reviews, and then you can just use the package at the end of the day. But yeah, why? So yeah, Philip's question is great. Why are we scraping Amazon? Why is scraping Amazon a thing? So that probably, I can probably do another live as to like why people scrape Amazon, or why, like what you can get out of scraping Amazon. But there's a lot of different opportunities there. But in a nutshell, I think at the highest level, you can scrape Amazon pages to create new pages on your site that are reviews, like in your voice using AI, right? So let's just focus on that as the use case for scraping. But people scrape for a lot of different other reasons. For instance, like maybe you have your own Amazon store, and you just want to look at the reviews and parse them with OpenAI and make decisions based on that. Like there's a lot of different use cases, but I just want to focus on the affiliate use case, because I think people understand that. And as this package continues to be built today, it'll be clear like why you scrape. Okay. But anyways, back to stars and title. We're gonna get the stars and title of this. Just watch. Yeah, there's not too many people that know JavaScript here, so we're gonna just scrape this here. Review. Actually, yeah, we're gonna take review. So yeah, this is the part where it gets a little complicated. Let me see here. Review dot query selector. I think we probably can just do this. Let me see. Star. All right, I think this will be good. Will there be templates available to plug and play? Yeah, so once this package is done, you'll see that you can use it in other packages to do what you need it to do. So I just want to, sorry, let me finish this. All right. Query selector, review query selector. All right. I am going to see if this does what I want it to do. So yeah, JSON, stringify that. All right, so let's run this. I just want to make sure that it's bringing the stars and title from each review. Okay. Let's run this. It runs pretty quickly, so if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And this should appear in the same area that the number of reviews appeared, because it's the same JSON key. We just are changing what comes out now. Okay. So let's give it some time here. And That is finished. Oh, that's not what we want. Oh, you know what happened? Yeah, that was a mistake. That needs to be inner text. All right, yeah. Now this should do what we want. Yeah, so I think after running this, we should get the number of stars and the title of the review. All right. So let's run this again. Running. All right. So now we got an error. Let's work through this error here. Review. All right. Yeah, so it's not finding that selector. Let's see if that's actually really a selector. Yeah, so another thing that I like to mention too is a good package a good package takes time to make, okay? But once it's made, it'll make your life a lot easier, okay? So now we're just trying to figure out why this isn't working. Okay. Let me see here. So now I'm just looking for I think we could just do review title. Data hook review title. All right, yeah. So now, guys, I'm just looking for another selector because I don't really trust that selector that I got. This might be a better one. All right. So let's go with this one. All right. Yeah, let's go with this one. I think there might be an issue. All right. So let's do this. All right, let's run this and see what happens. Yeah, so any questions? Anybody have any questions while we're troubleshooting and debugging this part, the hardest part of this package? Let me know if you have any questions while we debug this. All right, so that ran. All right, so perfect. Now that worked. Okay, so now so far for the reviews, we've got the stars and the title. All right, and if we look on the page itself, okay, we'll see that these are actually real things. Okay, so it's actually extracting the stars and the title. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to extract is the actual review. Okay, so if we hover over it, we'll see that it gives us this long expander content div, a expander content. Okay. I think, yeah, I think we can go with that. Whoops, that's fun. One question that might be interesting for the audience: how long will the new lifetime deal be available? I'm probably going to turn it off this month, sometime this month, but I don't have like an actual end date yet. All right, let's get the review body going. Okay, so back to JavaScript. Let's call this one review body, review.query selector, that. And then let's go with this. ID. All right, so now, all right, so now this is going to give us the stars and title and the review body, okay? And then we can run this. So let's test this. And once we got the reviews and once we have so we have the stars and the title, and then we have the review body, which is the actual text of the review. Once we have that, we can pass that to ChatGPT, and then we can make a template. But let's see, selector is not valid. Whoops. Let's see here. Let me see. So it's saying my selector isn't valid. I will fix this by testing it here. Selector. Oh, oops. It should be star equals. Yeah, that's the issue. All right. All right. Let's run that again. All right. How to get just top 20 reviews for 5 stars and then top 10 each for 1. Yeah. So the pricing for browser profiles it's at $49 a month now. There's a few people on it now. But what that gets you is unlimited browser credits. All right, so it doesn't deduct credits when you use the browser. Let's see. So the question is how to get just the top 20 reviews for 5 stars. Can you ask that in a different way? It sounds like you want to get the top 25 stars and then the top 10 for 1 and 2 stars. Is there a reason for that for being that granular? What are you trying to extract from the reviews? All right, so now we're actually getting the reviews, okay? So you can see that we have the stars, 5 out of 5. Did not get a power creator cable, sorry. Then we got the review body. So now we're actually scraped everything. Cool. So I think this begs the question, okay, so we're scraping everything. We've got the reviews, we got the product title, the features. What can we do with this? Like what's the business case for scraping? Okay. And like I mentioned earlier, the best use case that I think that people can wrap their head around and understand, okay, I can do this and I want to invest in this, is affiliate pages. Okay. So like review pages that show up on Google. So when I think about business in general, whether you have an affiliate business where you review Amazon products and you drop your affiliate link, or you have like a mom and pop business, whether it's like a local, I don't know, you're a carpenter or you install carpets, I don't know what you do. Like success on the internet really boils down to, especially organic success, and take away, TikTok, take away like going viral, Google, basically, if you understand search engine optimization, you're going to win on the internet. Okay. So how does that play into Amazon and, scraping pages and turning them into something else? Well, with this, the next step I'm going to show you in this before the live ends, I think I got 1 more hour. Before this live ends, I want to show you how to turn this scrape into a page that you can push to like a WordPress. Okay. So let me see the next question. Did it capture all the reviews, even with the ones with the read more link? So let's go to read more. See more reviews. I think this will actually take you to another page if I'm not mistaken. Let me turn off this real quick. Yeah, the other thing is, and for your use case, maybe it does require, scraping every single review, but I found that with especially Amazon, a site that's heavily optimized, okay, you probably, given that, let's see what the overall rating on this is. It's 4 out of 5 stars. Okay. You can scrape all the reviews if you want to, right, with packages, but then that's going to make this package a little more complex, which is okay. But I just don't think especially for the purpose of this live, that we're going to do that, because it's just going to, scraping 1,000 reviews is not going to change what the LLM outputs. But yeah, for the purposes of this, no, you're not getting all the reviews, and this will not go to read more and scrape the rest. But you could make a package that did that if you wanted to, but I just don't think the ROI is there. I don't think you're going to get more quality content if you scraped all 1,000 reviews, if that makes sense. The next question is, if you can show us how to populate the scrape into WordPress with affiliate links. Okay. I will show you. First, what I'm going to do is show you how to take this data that we scraped and turn it into a page that looks like a website, So let's see. This is what we've got. This is what we're working with. We have the reviews. We have this about me, which is not very helpful. But I think that's enough to create some sort of like affiliate review template / page, right? All right. So what's the first thing I'm going to do? The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new node, which is the HTML node. Okay. And this will help us visualize like the template that we're going to make. Okay. So let's see here. What's I'm trying to think of what's a review site that does really great. What's the New York Times one? New York Times product, Wirecutter, isn't that what it is? Wirecutter. So let's see one of they just posted this yesterday. Okay. So this is the review format. It looks like they've got the header here, an image here, and the body here. Okay. We'll try to make something that looks kind of like this. I don't know how close we'll get, but we'll see. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to add the H1. Okay. So let me see here. This is the H1. And then let's see here. Let's make the H1 be the title of the product, which is very ugly. It's this, right? So we're going to add a new LLM node. Okay. That's going to take the title from Amazon, and it's going to turn it into something that's pretty and human readable. Okay. Let's see a question. Can patches work for websites you have to log into or ones that you log out of periodically? Can you program it to log you back in? So packages can work for websites you log into. Okay. You just need to use what's called the cloud browser to log into that account. Okay, so on the keys page, if you don't have a browser added, you can add one. Okay, I don't know if I have available ones, but let's say I want this browser to be my Facebook account. Okay, so let's do my Facebook browser. So if I go here, this is going to load, and then in that browser, I can go to Facebook and I can log in, and it'll keep me logged in until either Facebook logs me out or I decide to log out. But in this browser, I'm going to log in to Facebook. So yeah, I just put in my username and my password, and then I save the cookies, and then I'll be logged into Facebook. Okay. But I'm already logged into Facebook on some of these other profiles. So if I open this up and go to Facebook, I will already be in Facebook. So yeah, back to this package though. So just like the other steps, right, where we're troubleshooting and we're building one by one, I want to build this package one by one. So the first step that I'm going to do, like I said, is let me just delete this just to make it clear what we're doing. I'm going to create a new LLM node. Okay, I'm going to connect it to the browser node. Okay, and in this GPT node, I'm going to actually make a GPT just tell me the name of the product in like a clean way, right? Because what we're getting now for the name of the product is this Sony PlayStation 4 500 gigabyte console renewed. So I think by now a lot of people are pretty good at prompting, right? So for this prompt, I'm going to say, give me back a clean name of a product on Amazon. Strip out things like, what was it called? Renewed or new. Okay. And then we're going to say raw name, and we'll say clean name. Okay. So for the raw name, we're going to tag, and let's just name this clean name, this node, clean product name. All right. So the raw name is this node. Okay. And we can reference it here too. If we open up the browser steps, okay, and we go to the get the title step, which is this one. It's 38U, or the last 3 digits. So if we do @38U, that'll give us the raw name. And then this should, in theory, give us the clean name. Okay, this should take out renewed. So we can just now connect this to the HTML node, and then the HTML here, we're going to want to put this field here. Okay. This node, we're going to want to populate the H1 with the name of the product. Okay. So for this, we're going to want to use something on this HTML node called the variable table. Okay. You can't tag in the HTML node. That doesn't work because this is a very complex component, and it doesn't let you tag in the way that you tag here, because this supports images and stuff. So we're going to have to tag these nodes in a different way. So we're going to look for the code for the clean product name, which is this. Okay. And we're going to paste that here. Okay. And yes, this looks ugly, but this will end up populating with the name of the product. Okay. And I'm just going to kill all this on the template. And now we're going to have a template that actually looks nice. Okay. So we're going to name this one HTML template, okay? And then we're gonna tag this new template here in the finish node, okay? So let me tell you what's happening here, okay? We're gonna use this node now as essentially our finish node, okay? This is gonna be the template that we're building in HTML, and it's gonna look pretty, and it's gonna be our Amazon product review template, okay? And we're doing all this work in the HTML node because the finish node it can render HTML, but it's not gonna give you this like pretty editor that you can see pictures and all this different stuff, okay? So let's run this and just make sure that at least for the first step, we're getting the H1 tag, okay? So let us run this, okay? Yeah. So now we are about to make our review. And all right, so that finished. Perfect. So now we've got our H1 tag. It cleaned up the name. It took out renewed. And it's an H1. Okay. So that looks great. Now, what are some other components that we want to add to this review page? Yeah, what are some components we want to add? You can post in the chat what you would want to see in a review page, but keep in mind so we have the reviews, right? We have reviews, we have the product about this item, like the description, I guess, and the reviews. So, and we actually have other nodes that are at disposal too, right? We could do a Google search for this product and see what other sites are saying about it. But like, if we go back to Wirecutter, right? Like if we look at the components of a review, let's just look at somebody that's already reviewed Sony PlayStation review, okay? Because what I'm going to focus on now in this next step is how to actually, okay, images of the product, that's good. What I want to focus on next is the actual pieces of the template, okay, and like building the template one by one. Because the cool thing about this is once it's working, right, you can basically like have a package that scrapes Amazon, then runs this package, then pushes it to your WordPress, and it's like creating thousands of pages in a minute. Price comparisons, okay, yeah, all good suggestions for components or parts to add to this template, okay. So yeah, let's look at their better graphics, more immersive. Okay, so they're just comparing it to the other PlayStation models. Okay. I'm trying to see what are the components of. Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah. So the first one is going to be images of the product. Okay. And we can do two things. We can take the image from Amazon, or we can do a Google search for that PlayStation 4 500 gigabyte images. All right, let's see what kind of images we get back. All right. So yeah, so let's add an image as the first, I guess, module. Okay, my first component. And for that, we will use the Google node, okay? So let's go to Google and let's connect it to the browser node because we need the title of the the product, right? Yeah. I'm going to actually connect it to to this GPT node. And why am I connected to this GPT node? Because this GPT node has the clean version of the title. Okay, so clean version of title is here. Okay, so at this point in time, we have the clean version of the title. We're going to pass it to Google and do a search to get the image. Okay, so we're going to say in the search query at clean product name image. Okay, and that's going to give us some images. But I don't actually know how this is formatted. So we'll get back to that. Let's do image search, okay? And then we'll do the image search, and I will output the image search here, which will look, it'll be a lot of code, I think, but we'll extract that image out, okay? So let's do, yeah, we can't actually access it until we connect it, okay? So now if we look at the variable table here, we can do the image search, copy that. We can put the image search here, okay? And let's run that, okay? Okay, so we have a question. Can it connect to Suite-CRM? It probably can. What are you thinking as far as automations go for the Suite-CRM? Because if you have another automation platform like Pably or Zapier, you can connect it already via webhook, but I just want to know what the workflow is for that question. And then Philip has a question about getting the output to be in German. You can probably clone the package and add a Google Translate step in between somewhere, or you can actually tell it to write it in German in the prompt, in one of the prompts. That's how you can get it to be in German. All right, so yeah, the image search gave us all this. So yeah, we need to actually get the image URL from the first image. All right, so yeah, this package is getting a little bit complex, which is fine, you know. So we're gonna actually extract the image using the JS runner. All right, do image search. So we connect this here. And now in this node, we're gonna extract the first image, okay? And we're gonna say URL just to let us know that it's a URL, okay? So for the input, we're gonna do the image search, and we're gonna look at the structure of this image search to get the actual image, right? So object is going to be JSON. Yeah, again, this is a lot of coding involved with this particular package, just because it's a little complex, but in the end it'll be really pretty, and you can use this by just clicking run package. Cool. So we just want to get just the image URL. So that means that images and image URL. Okay. If we do this, this should get us the image URL. Right. So now I'm going to add an image tag, but first I want to add a placeholder image. Let me see, what's that site that gives me this one? All right, perfect. So I'm going to add a placeholder here. Oops, image. All right. Let's see. So let's just do this. All right. So what am I doing now? I am extracting the image from the Google search. I want to plug it in here. Okay. But the first thing I want to make sure is that the image URL is coming back. Okay. So we're going to look for the variable here that we need to copy to the HTML, and this should spit out the URL if it's correct. Okay. And then I think after this runs, I will use ChatGPT to come up with a review based on the the reviews and the about me section. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. All right, so that ran, and perfect. We've got an image URL. Okay. So what can we do with this? Okay. So we can take this, which is the image URL, and we can put it here. Okay. We don't know the width, but we should just set 1 so that it height. We should set the height so that it doesn't interfere with the layout. Because yeah, we don't know the width, so we want it to be, we want it to maintain its aspect ratio. Okay. Let me wrap this in a div so that it takes up the space. Right. All right, so our image is going to go there. Now, what I want to add now is is the actual review. Okay, so let's come up with a simple review. This doesn't have to be anything complex. Just a simple review based on an outline we give it. Okay, so let's ask ChatGPT for an outline. How would it outline a review? Okay. How would you outline a review for a product? I run an affiliate blog. All right. So we've got, yeah, I'm just gonna do like 3 of these sections. So we've got the introduction, product overview. All right, target audience, pros and cons. Cool. So I'm going to create a new node. Okay. I think a lot of so when a lot of people say, especially with a lot of the different products that are on the market now, as far as like content writers go, AI writers, a lot of people like one shot, like, give me a review of this product, you know? And I think the format that works best and the format that gets me traffic on niches and some of my other sites is actually having prompts dedicated to just sections of the article. So you have a different prompt for every section and not just one prompt that will write you the whole article. Okay. This gives you more control over the output and sort of the end result of the content. Okay. So I'm going to do the intro now. Okay. So that means I need a new node. Okay. Let's see, what node do I want to do? We're going to do LLM again, and we're going to do intro paragraph. Does the HTML node change the line breaks to an HTML line break? No, it doesn't. There is a new node that I need to add. Yeah, that's actually a really good point, Christina. There's a new node that I'm going to add that that is a markdown node, because all the models basically they've been trained to return things in markdown, right? So the markdown node will change what you get back. Things like a new line, it'll change that into a line break, so BR, or it'll basically change your text into paragraphs, which would inherit the formatting that whatever HTML, the formatting that you have for your CSS, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to make the intro paragraph now. And again, this is prompting, which a lot of people are familiar with, right? So for this prompt, I'm going to connect it to you need to connect it to something. So I'm going to connect it to, let's connect it to the clean product name, because this will give us the clean product name, but we'll also get everything before, which includes the browser. Okay, so everything we scraped from the browser. So now I'm going to say, write an intro paragraph for a review, an affiliate review based on the information below. Okay, so the information below is product name. All right, and then we're going to tag clean product, and then we're going to say what are we going to say? Yeah, let's just see what this comes with. Okay, because we can actually, this is where your template has a voice. Okay, has your voice, is you can sort of in your prompt dictate how the intro will sound. What other information you want to include in the intro. Maybe in your intro, you already want to say up front that like this product sucks, so based on the reviews, but like that's where your voice comes in. Okay, so I'm going to keep this intro really basic. And then we're going to pass it to the HTML node. Okay, so I've connected this intro to the clean product name and the HTML node. Okay, so how do we get this intro into our template? Okay, we're going to look at the variable table. We're going to look at intro. We're going to copy the code for the intro, and then we're going to paste it. Let's paste it here. Let me just make sure it's in the right spot. It is not where I want it to be. Perfect. That's better now. All right, so this will be our intro paragraph. Okay. Now let's run this package and see what it comes up with. All right, running this package. So if this works like the way we want it to, we'll get our header, we'll get our image URL, and then our image, it'll actually be the image, and then we'll get our intro paragraph. Okay. And then we'll do something cool. We'll instead of we've been stuck on the PlayStation for this whole live, we'll change it to a different product just to see if it works fine there. Okay, so far we've got our PlayStation coming in. Cool. We've got our header, and then we've got our intro paragraph. If you're on the hunt for an immersive gaming experience that balances that, Okay, so it's got our intro. Cool. And yeah, so product overview, target audience. So let's see here. One thing I want to do really quickly, and I don't know if anyone has any questions up to now, feel free to ask questions, no problem. The next thing I want to do is just test this with a different product. Okay, so let's say leg warmers. All right. Cool. Those look like some cool leg warmers. All right, so let's run this now with this URL instead and see if it does what we want. All right, so it's on the right page. That's good. Let's see if the selectors have changed at all. Oh, and another thing about this is actually a good thing to do, because this product isn't actually like, I'm sure if we put this on Google, it wouldn't find the right image. So let's see what happens though. So let's let this run. It's actually stuck on something. What's the credit usage? Is it per package run or per node? So the credit usage works like this. Basically, all right, so yeah, feature bullets. It doesn't have feature bullets. The question is credit usage. So it's per run. So you can actually have runs that don't use credits if you don't use the browser node and if you have provided your keys for all these different nodes. Okay. So there's a page on the docs that explains the credit usage. So yeah, this tells you how many credits you can expect to use given the node. But these are the only nodes that cost credits, and everything else is free to run. But yeah, so we had a failure here when we tried to scrape this page because it doesn't have this. So I'm just going to continue on errors there and just see what it does. So let's run that. Yeah, and eventually, let's see when this runs. So eventually, once this package is fully done, because I don't think again, a good package takes a long time to make. This one won't not be done during this live. But as you can see, the direction we're heading in is you can run a package against a page and it'll give you a HTML for a page that you can just throw up on your WordPress site that can, drive traffic to people looking for reviews for a specific product. But yeah, it looks like it's getting tripped up on leg warmers because, oh, there we go. Now it's doing stuff. But it doesn't, leg warmers doesn't have that particular selector. So it was getting stuck on that one step. But let's see this. Okay, so yeah, and we probably could beef up our what is this? The prompt for our title, because like this title is super, like a super Amazon title, you wouldn't, no one is entering all this in their search. But let's go back to, let's go back to the HTML template. So we've got an intro, right? That is, it's bland. It doesn't have any flavor, but you can make it better by either changing the model, right? I really like Claude. I love the way that it writes. To me, the writing style is a lot better. Or you can get it to write differently by changing your prompt. Okay. This is just like prompting 101. So you can say like, in the intro paragraph, be really fun and quirky, use emojis, because or don't use emojis, but you can say use emojis. Your target audience is 20 to 25 years old. Okay. And this will get you a very different intro paragraph. Okay. So for the notes here, I'll say tweak this to mimic the writing style. writing style you want. All right. So that's the intro. Okay. Let's do, what else do we want to do here? So let's say we wanted to, because I'm not going to add all these different sections on this live right now, but I'll probably beef this up later and turn it into a what do we call these? The playbooks. Yeah. So an Amazon playbook, right? So for affiliates, I'll probably get a playbook going there. So all you have to do is press play. But let's look at adding, analyzing the reviews. Okay. So let's incorporate the reviews into this package. Okay. So how do I want this to look? I think what I want to do is I probably just want to incorporate a few, let's see, incorporate those 8 reviews into like a section that's like, what are people saying, you know? All right, so what are people saying? Let's add a new section here. What are people saying? And this just, yeah, that's not what we want. So for this last step, I will incorporate the reviews. I'll probably add one more section just so you guys can see what it's like to add one more block of text. And then I'll add, I'll add this, what your people are saying. What are people saying section, okay? Oh yeah, okay. Pros and cons based on user reviews, perfect. Pros and cons. All right. So that's actually a really great idea. So to make the pros and cons table, we're going to create 2 new nodes, okay? We'll create one node that's for the pros and one node that's for the cons, all right? Just the pros, all right? And then we'll connect it to, we can connect it to either of these, but just connect it to the clean product name. So we're going to get just the pros right now, okay? This will give us the pros because we want to list the pros and the cons on the review page, okay? So in the prompt, what we'll do is we will, we're going to pass in just the reviews, okay? Because we got the reviews on this step, okay, which ends in OHH, okay? So if we say, again, this is prompt, all right? So we're just writing a regular old prompt. We can say all the reviews, all right, at OHH, all right? And then we can say, given a list of reviews, just tell me what are the pros to buying this product, okay? Why not? Okay, why not connect the pros node to the browser node? Okay, so that's a good question. Why didn't I connect this node to the browser node, okay? So the way that packages is architected is, and the reason I didn't do this is because I'm going to want to use the clean name, okay? I'm going to want to use the clean product name in this prompt. And then also, too, the way that the package is architected is it will inherit everything that this is connected to, okay? So the clean name is connected to the browser. So just by being connected to the clean name, I automatically get everything that's in the browser, okay? Because it's just following the steps and going up, okay? So that's why I connected it to this node, is because I want to reference clean name. If I didn't do that, if I connected it to just the browser node, it wouldn't know about the clean name, so we couldn't be able to use it in the prompt. Okay. So in this prompt, we're going to say, oops, we're in clean name now. Clean name. Okay, so we've got all the reviews here. Okay. We got the product name here. Let's add clean product name. So we've got the clean product name, we've got all the reviews, and now we want it to return the pros. And let's be specific about how we want those pros to be returned. I want them to be returned in a bullet point format, right? So we just tell ChatGPT to do that for us. Return the pros in a bullet point format like this. A simple easy to use, low price. Okay. So now let's create a table. Okay. So we've got a table here. All right. So it's a 2x2 table. Let me say pros. Oops. This should be down here. All right. So we do this. All right. Now that's where I want it to be. And let's add that. Perfect. That looks good. So what about mimicking the writing style of the reviews? You can mimic the writing style of the reviews if you want. You'd probably have to create a new node that analyzes the reviews and then comes up with a writing style based on that. But I think the writing style should mimic the voice of your blog, because we're writing this for like a affiliate blog, right? So the voice or the writing style should mimic your writing style. The next question is there any way to undo the deletion or change of a node? Yes. So if you go to these three dots and go to roll back, basically the state of your package is saved throughout any edit. Okay. So right now we're in the current version, which has 12 nodes. If we wanted to go to the version of this package like 30 minutes ago, we can roll back to that. So you can go back to any point in time and jump in the past and go back to the future. So back to the future. So yeah, that's how you can undo your changes in this package and any package you build. But anyways, back to the pros and cons. Okay. So pros, cons. Okay. This just the pros node is our pros. So right now it's not connected to the HTML node. Okay. So if we go to the variable table, we're not going to see it there. It doesn't know about it. Okay. So we're going to connect it now, and now it knows about it. So now we can reference it in the HTML node. And this is just the pros. Copy that. And now if we go here, we can paste that. That should give us just the pros. Okay. So let us run this package and see if we get just the pros. And I want to switch back to the PlayStation example, because let me see, where is that at? Yeah, the PlayStation console. We're building this package based on that. So yeah, let's go back to PlayStation and let's see what pros that it gives us for PlayStation. All right. Now it's doing all the GPT work now. Perfect. So, yeah, so there's two things going on here. One, it's not breaking the lines, which wonder if we can change that here. Yeah, so in our in the formatting for our GPT node, we can actually render the the response as HTML. So that should fix the line breaks. But in the pros, it's actually mentioning like the customer service from the seller, things about the seller, right? So we want to actually tell GPT to not include anything about the seller or like the shipping time. We just want it to focus on the product. Okay. So yeah, let's change our prompt to say, don't include pros that reference shipping, or what was the other things we saw there? Or seller or customer service. Just focus on things related to the actual product. Okay. So let's run this again, and it should actually break those lines. So we shouldn't see the stars next to each other, asterisks next to each other. And yeah, it should be doing what we want it to do. I think we've got 5 minutes left, so I do want to see if anyone has any questions. And yeah, let's just let this run first, and then I'll see if we have any questions, last questions. But just to recap, yeah, we were scraping Amazon. We're going to ultimately create a page that is an Amazon like affiliate review. But the goal is going to be to basically turn this into a playbook, right? Just like we have, I don't know if you people have seen the playbooks, but yeah, playbooks are just an easier way to interact with packages that doesn't involve this part where you're opening and creating a package by hand, right? But yeah, let's look at the, okay, cool. So now this looks a lot better. It's not mentioning the seller anymore. It's not mentioning anything about shipping. It's all about the product. But yeah, we can tweak this even further, because I don't like that it's talking about the fact that it's renewed. So you probably should stay away from like renewed stuff, but you can fix that in your prompt. Okay. So Christina says, excellent live. Thanks. Learned a lot. Any chance you could share with us the complex package you created for niches to generate visits based on job opportunities? Yes, I can show you that. But before we jump to that, does anyone have any questions about Amazon in general? Anything you've seen? Anything you've seen during this 2-hour live? Yeah, I just want to know if anyone has any questions there. But yeah, just know that I'm probably going to spend the week, making this package really good, making it really pretty, and then turning it into a playbook where, yeah, if you want to be like an Amazon affiliate on steroids, where you're like, you could just point to a page and create a review for it in your voice, you'll be able to do that. This can be done in bulk. And if you want to save this as a CSV, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. So one question would be, what would the CSV format be, right? Because this is now just outputting just HTML, right? So the way that you would turn this into a CSV I'm guessing you want this output to be as a CSV. So what you would want basically is the first step is you need to make this a webhook, right? So let's call this webhook just, product to affiliate page, right? The webhook would have Amazon URL as an input, right? So your CSV, if you were to make a CSV of this, right? Yes, whole output in an ESV from a run. So to turn this into a CSV, right? You probably would need to use this webhook for sure. And I can probably show this in another video, but you need to basically feed feed a list of URLs, Amazon URLs, to something like Pably, right? And then the output would be the URL and then the output from the package, if that makes sense. But I think once this turns into a playbook, right? Once we've got the playbook going, it'll be very easy. The part of the playbook would be like, get your CSV out, because I'm guessing what you want to do with that CSV is you want to maybe have the HTML in one column, the name of the product or the URL in one, and then just be able to upload them to WordPress in bulk. But the playbook will facilitate that. Yeah. All right. So the next question for Christina is, I just wonder why there are some selectors that work in JS code using the browser console, but not in the browser node. Okay. Do you have an example of that? Because there's one thing to keep in mind with the browser node, right, is the selectors here. Like, for example, if you're like getting the title, there's certain things you can do here that you cannot do in the in the console. Like, for instance, like you can't do like a pseudo selector like this. You can't do query selector H1, or like you can't do button has text login. You can't do that here because that doesn't exist. Has text is not something that's part of the spec, in JavaScript. So here, this actually is a different engine. There's a different engine that's running this. It's Playwright. I don't know if you're familiar with Playwright, but it is these are Playwright selectors, right? So Playwright lets you do things like button has text. It's like a layer on top of the browser that lets you do things that a normal browser can't do. So that's just one thing to keep in mind as far as selectors go. But yeah, so I think we've hit the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to make this clonable. All right. So up to now, you can see what we've got here. I'm going to name this Amazon products. I'm going to keep it product scraper because that's what it's been the whole video. But I'm going to also add to affiliate template. Okay. And then, yeah, that is this package. Yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. It could be generic packages questions. It could be related to this package or other packages, but I'm going to stick around for like 10 more minutes to answer any questions that anyone might have. And I think I'm going to I think Christina wanted to see the packages that I'm using for that is actually getting traffic, right? Which is the affiliate to, what is that? Indeed. There we go. Indeed package. Okay. All right. So shifting gears here a little bit, but this is going to be 10 minutes only, or less, but this is yeah, drop the question package. Okay. So yeah, this would be really cool to show you guys. So this is a package that I use. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I made, but it turns a Indeed search into landing pages on my site. Okay. on niches. So this is actually the package that kicks things off, okay? And it's very simple. All it does is it takes the inputs, which is the city and state and the job title, but I only pass city and state. And then it will run this browser automation. It'll paginate through the Indeed search results. And as it's on an Indeed search page, right, it will run packages, okay? So imagine being a person or a bot, right? And you're on, if we go to Indeed, and I'm in Brazil, so it's going to do this thing where, oh, no, it's not, okay? So yeah, so imagine you're on this page, and as you click this, boom, page created, boom, page created. Like, it doesn't wait until it scrapes all the page. It's doing it asynchronously, which makes it extremely fast, okay? And I'm going to show you an example of that. But that is happening here, okay, and this step. So I'm going to show you that package, which is, I'm trying to remember what it's called. I can probably just do this. But this is a really, this is a really gnarly package. It's doing some crazy stuff. So that's the package code. So let's just go here. So this is the package that's actually creating the page, and I'll show you guys how that page looks, okay? Because this is the goal of packages. Like, you really want to be able to just create pages that are really custom, right? And not even think about it, right? So let me see here. I'm trying to think what's the top interview page. Laundry attendant. This is one of the top ones. It's the third result, but it follows this format, okay? And I can really improve this a lot, but I mean, this format is working. A lot of these pages end up on the first page after a couple days, but yeah. So this is the end result of this package run, okay? So here's how that package looks, though, okay? It's not that complex. There's only 22 nodes, but what it does is it splits out all these different sections are GPT prompts, okay? A lot of people think that, oh, I'm gonna create a laundry attendant interview questions, page. So I'm just going to go to ChatGPT and say, can you give me 5 laundry attendant interview questions and answers? And you just paste that into your WordPress blog. Like, that's not going to get you ranked. You need to have something that like real people will cling to, right? So this, this package, what it does, only 22 nodes. Yeah. If we go through each node, I'll tell you what it's doing. So again, we have a clean job title node. So this is what that prompt looks like, okay? It's like very detailed. Take a raw job title, remove things like company names, location, urgency. If the position is hourly, all right. Yeah, this is a little complex, but hopefully with the playbooks, right, it'll make it a little bit easier. So yeah, it's just filled with prompts like these that are dedicated to one section, right? So this takes this gets the job duties, which is somewhere here, or maybe I'm using it in a future node. But yeah, just nodes. GPT prompts dedicated to like really specific parts of the article, so that it knows that it knows what it needs to do, and it's very repetitive. Like, it's trusted. Like, what we get back, we know we're going to get back the format we want, because I mean, our prompts are really specific, and then at the end we just bundle them up. We bundle them together, and then we get something that looks like this, okay? Again, really complex stuff, but the goal and what's been working really well is the playbooks, right? Because the playbooks make it really easy to use packages without like actually like wrapping your head around making a custom package yourself. Okay. So one thing I'm going to do before we wrap up is just so you understand the goal with this interview questions generator. I'm going to show you like how it works and how I don't really like babysit it. I just let it create the pages it creates, and then later later Google will index them, and I'll get traffic without even thinking about it. So I'm going to go to my calendar. Let's see if I have any runs. So yeah, I don't usually run the Indeed package every day, but so the next run's going to be, there was one this morning. Let me see how it went. Okay. But anyways, we've got this Indeed package. Sometimes I change the city, sometimes I don't, but let's run this Indeed package just so you guys can see how it works. Okay, so I'm going to actually do something here. I'm going to go to niches real quick, and I'm going to go to the back end, and I'm going to, let me do this here. I'm going to go to the back end, and I'm going to just see how many pages it creates during this run. Okay. Let's do this. So see here. All right, so right now we've got about 800 of these interview pages, okay? And the goal is to get it to thousands, okay? And the reason for that is the key to, I think, any successful SEO is long tail, okay? These are, I would have never thought of making interview pages for all these different professions if I didn't create this package, okay? So now we can see that we're at 824, okay? I'm gonna run this package, and it's should create a few more of these interview pages, okay? So yeah, I don't want to use a browser node, but I do want to use my OpenAI key, okay? So I'm gonna run this, all right? And it is going to run my Indeed package, okay? And if it does what it's supposed to do, we should see this number increase, the number of career pages. So hopefully it'll beat this CAPTCHA. All right, CAPTCHA is beat. Now it's going to change the city, and we're going to watch it to, this actually might fail because I didn't pass my niches API key, but it'll tell us. Yeah. How do you avoid repeating the careers topic? This is going to fail. So let's see here. Yeah, let me just fix this one issue, and I'll explain how I do that. So how do we fix that? The question is, how do we avoid repeating career topics? Okay, so it happens in this crazy node. Okay, there's two ways you can do it. And I probably will show you guys how to do this it'll handle it automatically for you in the playbooks, right? In the playbooks now, especially for the Reddit and the LinkedIn playbooks, it does this for you using the memory node, okay? The memory node can remember things, and it's just a simple key value store, like a simple database. Think of it as a simple database that says, okay, I did this one already, so I'm not going to do it again. The memory node in those playbooks, in the Reddit and LinkedIn playbook, it remembers things that it's already commented on so that it doesn't comment on them twice. This is the same thing that the interview thing is doing, but it does it on the niches side. It doesn't do it on the packages side, but you can use the memory node. I could have used the memory node to do that, but I chose to do it on the niches side. But yeah, to answer your question, the memory node. Let us do this. Let's fix this. Yeah, so you can stop the run mid-run, which I just did. And the way that you do that is, I'll show you. Let me make sure I have my niches key this time. All right, so I'm gonna run this, okay? So yeah, clicking this will stop the run. This will cancel the run and it'll stop it. Just click that red button and hit yes. And it'll stop the run. Can you connect to APIs and use the responses? Yes, you can do that. You can do get, post, patch. Any of the HTTP methods are available. So we're going to do this again, and this is going to pass because now I'm setting my niches API key. So this should do what I wanted to do. So we can, in theory, we should watch this grow now. So as it clicks on each job, it's scraping it, and then it's creating a page immediately. So 824, we're still at 824. 825 now, we got construction supervisor, food production assistant. Let's see, if it's not already here, it will, yeah. So you can see that as we're scraping, it's creating these new pages. And it'll do that for like 5 pages worth of content while I sleep, right? Because it's scheduled to run in the morning. And yeah, so this is one of those pages that I created now, okay? Based on this crawl that it's doing. And it's really fast because of the way that the nodes are constructed. But yeah, this is basically packages in a nutshell, and this interview package that's adding new pages on the fly as it crawls. But yeah, what are you completing using niches in this package? So it's just, again, it's just creating these landing pages. Okay, these people end up using niches to, take practice interviews or prepare like their resume and stuff, because there's these other tools too, like cover letters and interview questions and stuff. So the goal here is not to get them to, like, we're not using niches to write the content. We're pushing content that we generate in packages to niches, if that makes sense. All right, so yeah, this package is probably going to run for a while, so I'll close this window. Yeah, it's making a lot of pages now. We're at 8:35, but yeah. Any more questions? I got like 5 more minutes, so 5 more minutes. Let's see if we don't have any more questions. I'll probably wrap this thing up. Yeah, so this will be a weekly thing, okay? This week I probably will focus on Amazon Playbook, okay? Because there's lots of different, like I've mentioned earlier in this live, there's a lot of different use cases for wanting to automate Amazon, scrape Amazon, do things in Amazon, right? Like there's a whole different side to Amazon besides just being an affiliate. You can actually sell things on Amazon, but you can scrape to like sort of get ideas for what to sell and then use AI. Because I mean, we've only touched on like the text generation part of AI, but you can leverage, image generation and even video to do things, to make packages too as well. So What I'm going to focus on this week is, an Amazon playbook, because I think there's a lot of opportunity for Amazon as far as packages goes. And then, yeah, we can have another live based on what you want to see or what you want to see me build or help you with. Yeah. So again, I know that packages has a learning curve. It is definitely, I mean, I'm not, I'm not, lying to myself there about there not being a learning curve. It is, it's intimidating a little bit, but I think with playbooks, it makes it approachable. And I think for more technical people, like, yeah, I think someone just asked, can you connect it to APIs, do GET POST? Yeah, you can make HTTP requests with it. So, yeah, we'll do this again, next week, Saturday. I hope it was very helpful. I don't see any other questions, so I will be ending the stream, ladies and gentlemen. So have a good weekend. This will be available to watch again. All right. So have a good one, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.